Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Indiana Hockey Broadcast Network. My name is Andrew Gus, joined alongside Garrett. We bring you live here from Bird Arena at Ohio University in Athens, Ohio, for game number 2 of 2 this weekend. A little background, last night's game, a 3-1 finish as the Hoosiers able to claim another victory, but tonight, a new night. However, we'll see the same goaltenders as for Indiana, dressed once again in their red uniforms with the white trim. Will be senior Brendan McCaskey. A great showing last night, only allowing 1 goal. He really played on top of his head last night, and a lot of the help from that victory came from Brendan in net, so we look for him as well tonight. And on the other side, for Ohio, once again, they'll wear their white jerseys with the green and black trim. The paw print in the middle will be Matthew Zazon, the sophomore goaltender from Columbus, Ohio, who is 6-3 on the year. Saw a good game last night, nice and tight. We mentioned last year, in every match that these two teams play against each other, Garrett, it's always a good one. So we'll take a brief break here on the Indiana Hockey Broadcast Network to hear the national anthem, and we'll be right back. All right, Garrett. Saw a good game last night. What would you like to see tonight from the Hoosiers?
Well, last night, Brendan McCaskey played phenomenal, but Indiana also did a great job of keeping him out of those high-pressure situations. There weren't a lot of odd-man rushes, if any at all, that Indiana gave up. And McCaskey made the big saves when he had to, but the Hoosiers did a good job just keeping bodies out of the crease in general.
Absolutely. Something we mentioned earlier on in the game was both teams bottling each other up in their own end. We see Andrew Chambers already ready to go tonight. He slammed an energy drink beforehand. He's ready to go. I hope you are too.
Another couple goals from Ryan Burke tonight wouldn't hurt either.
Absolutely. Well, the starting 5 for both sides will make their way out as you start to hear the boards being bunged by the sticks of the players. The official sends his way both ways to the goaltenders, and the rubber biscuit hits the ice. We're off and running. As McKay lays a nice big hit here in front of us to start this match. Myers will send one to the far side wing, trying to find Castricane. Stepping up is Rosenberg. He'll pick it up on the backhand as Rosie goes flying into the boards. A centering pass there, picked away by Ohio. A stretch pass came off the stick of Salvatore Poggiali. Nobody in sight. That's going to go all 200 feet for icing, and we'll reset in the end of the Bobcats and Matthew Zazon in the blue paint.
And in last night's game, Goose, Ohio forced to ice the pucks many times. Indiana had very few icing calls, 2, maybe 3 at the most, but we saw lots of icing from the Bobcats.
As Poggiali will tie it up, he'll win it back to his defense. It'll be chipped off the glass and sent back down to the ice by McKay, as he'll settle a backhand pass to Myers, who will just dump it to the far side right corner. Andrew Owen will finish a check. Not long later, the Ohio Bobcats pick it up and start to move up ice. As they're stopped at the red line, splitting the ice in 2. Will be sent in by Myers backhand. Now picked off by Ryan Burke. A nice game last night, netting 2 goals. And he was all over the forecheck. It will now be possessed by Joe Fulmer of the Ohio defense. as Xander Danner sends it to the far side. This will connect to Riley Scanlon. Scanlon's shot on net. Saved away with the glove. As McCaskey saw that one the whole way. We are just a minute into this game. Now, for those of you who did not watch last night, started getting a little bit chippy. And we will very likely see that same kind of thing start here. It'll take 1 or 2 big hits and some after the whistle pushing and shoving. These two teams in a TSCHL league game, it's always a close one.
Definitely going to be a few penalties in this one, and Indiana picks up the icing right there.
I think so. And this one will now make its way back to the Indiana end. We really saw not too many icings coming from the Hoosiers last night. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't think their first one came till the second period, but just a minute 15 in, and that'll be their first one. Chambers will step in and take this against the number 9 of the other side, Brennan Walker. Chambers, the man in red, will win it back. As Will Kicker tries to send this one up the board, it's stolen away and sent to the far side. Now Paul McClure, the freshman defenseman, will try to give a D-to-D pass, as that one was intercepted by Ohio. Some bodies bang in the near side right corner. As the Hoosiers try to chip it out, it was sent back in deep by Scanlon. Chambers will send a man to the wall. Scanlon fires a shot, this one off the Indiana logo of McCaskey's jersey, back down to the ice. As McClure regains possession, they'll start working up. He'll connect with Burke. Burke decides just to dump this in. It'll deflect off the pad of Matthew Zazon. As Danner gives it right back to Tamborski. He nearly had that one stripped by Ethan DiLorenzo. Here's Will Jeremy as he'll fake in. Jeremy, a shot to the middle. Pass, rather, trying to find DiLorenzo. DiLorenzo's shot now saved. And another stoppage of play here with 17:45 left to play in the first.
We saw Indiana get several rebound opportunities that Zazon gave him. Another one for DiLorenzo right there. Just stuffed that one right into the pad, but be on the lookout for Indiana crashing the net.
As Ohio will win this, it'll be worked up by Tyler Feldman. As Feldman decides to chip it in deep. It'll now be possessed by Ohio once again, as Rubin will take some contact. Zach Hardy steps up from back on the defense of Indiana and dumps it in deep. As Steve Wheatley makes a hit, it'll bang off his skate, and he'll give it up to Hawkins. Jack Hawkins fires one off the glove. As DiLorenzo tried the cycle there.
I think that one hit the stick of Matthew Zazon.
You're right, I was wrong there. A weird deflection in front. As Ohio now starts to work in their offensive zone, it'll be Jack Hawkins.
And you know, whenever you hit the stick on a shot, you were close to getting it past him. It's the
You're
most
right
narrow,
about that.
the most narrow part the goalie has.
And offsides delayed was finally whistled down as Ohio touched that one. Patrick Brandenburg will step in to take this one against Comardesi. As Ohio will play with it for a moment, not later. As now Indiana, Matt McKay will go D-to-D with Ray Myers. Myers to the far side. A tap pass, and now Ian Smith. Smith will throw on the brakes. As this will now be chipped out to center ice. McKay awaiting at the Ohio logo, pardon me. As this one now tried to find Smith just a foot in front of him. Now Aiden Simino has this one taken away from him. As Ray Myers gives it off, here's Ian Smith again, a 3-on-2 the Hoosiers. Aiden Simino, back to Myers. Brandenburg now, a shot, loose in the back door. Finally, Zazon puts the glove on top. That'll be blown dead here at 16:02. A great rush and opportunity for the Hoosiers. Zazon makes a huge save. Make that saves, plural.
Absolutely, Indiana got a few chances right there, but Zazon able to slide from pole to pole and gobble up the rebound.
As the Bobcats will win this back, will be possessed by Nicholas Josephak. So he'll give it off to the far side wing. This one shot and right to the breadbasket of McCaskey, making the butterfly save. .54 still remaining in the first. 0-0 our score. As it'll be one back by Ohio. This one shot just wide to the left. That came from Trent Johnson. As Castricane chases up the middle, it will be sent back to the Ohio defense. And they'll chip it in deep off a Josephac stick. No icing the call. Ray Myers in the forehand will rim it around. McKay steps up to help, however, stolen away. A centering pass. Josephac whiffs on that one. Still loose. McCaskey on his wallet. As Rosenberg finally able to settle it back, McCaskey retreats back to his net, and the Hoosiers nearly dodge a bullet there.
Ray Myers had a great stick lift right outside the crease on that one.
As McKay circled back in his own end, set one up the boards. No icing will be the call. The first one on the scene, Mike Campbell, the senior defenseman from Ohio. As Castricane steals this one away. Andrew Owen sends it back. However, Ethan Tamborski now moves the other way. Xander Danner ends up getting collided with on the far side. As it looks like McClure is down on the ice. He's back to his feet. And back to neutral ice this puck goes. As the Bobcats try to chip it in deep, McClure quickly grabs it. He'll chip it off the glass, and it'll be held back in by Danner. This one shot, post and in. Brennan Walker from Columbus, Ohio, the freshman. He sniped that one to the right post, and it banged right in past McCaskey. 1-0 Bobcats.
Just a tough shot to see all the way from the opposite corner by the Ohio bench, Goose, and looked like McCaskey wasn't able to track that one, and it went post in.
Now be Zach Hardy as the Hoosiers win this face-off in neutral ice. It'll be sent to the far side. Held by Joe Fulmer as Hawkins will try to dump it in. The Hoosiers tag up. This one sent to the far side. It will be said to be deflected by the officials, so no icing. As Hawkins will regain, it looks like he's going to have a skate. Hawkins tried to find Slavin breaking up ice. But that one a few feet too far ahead of him. That one sent out of play by the Ohio defense, and another stoppage of play here with 14:03 in the first. The official will chop it back, and Hardy once again receives it. Hawkins trying to pass up the wing. That was shot back in deep by Ohio. Zach Hardy tried to give it back to Hawkins. Hawkins will now skate up as he'll dump a man to the ice. A nice hit there. Hardy once again, the freshman defenseman, in possession. As he'll try to work it to the far side, it was sticked back down by Nolan Harubin. Hardy will leave it off for Chambers. Chambers a tap pass right back. As the Hoosiers stuck in their zone for a moment. Chambers will be able to get it past and dump it right in. The Hoosiers will get a full sail line change. As Ohio will now work the other way. It's Ethan Tamborski. He'll try to fire one. However, stopped away. As Slavin had that one on his stick, it just dribbled off. McKay will lay the body. As Jeremy leaves it back for a swing, Ethan DiLorenzo. DiLorenzo's going to cut to the outside. He'll fake in. DiLorenzo drives a shot. And another stick save there by Zazon. He had that parallel to the ice and was just able to press it with his glove on top with 12:52 here in the first.
And you talk about the full changes, Goose. Yesterday we saw Indiana really put an emphasis on making sure the entire line comes off as a unit and not just swapping the wingers or the D-men and leaving them mixed up a little bit. They're trying to keep them together.
You're right, Garrett, making sure they're on the same page. Sometimes you'll see the guys get out there for a little too long and they get tired and run down. Other teams get good offensive zone opportunities. And I'll see DiLorenzo working just behind the net of Zazon as he'll get pressured off the puck. Stepping in to help now, Steve Wheatley, as he'll press a Bobcat along the glass. He'll be slowed down. This one looks like it's going to just miss the net of McCaskey, and we'll have another icing here. We'll see Jeremy step in to take this draw as Ohio will win it. McKay and Josephac both hit the ice, but McKay, a successful play there, separating the man from the puck. As Myers tried to find an option there, will just be sent back in deep by Ohio. That dump from Trent Johnson. Myers will swing this one all the way around as Aiden Simino now will send it to the far side. DiLorenzo's going to win the foot race. He'll try a shot, try to go short side. A great save by Zazon. As McClure will swing back in neutral ice. His own blue line, he'll look to the far side and try to find Ian Smith. However, that just missed him, and that will go for a Hoosier ice here with 11:43 left in number one.
Indiana getting some good looks here, but so far Zazon proving that he can cover the whole net and going side to side, covering the short shoulder as well on DiLorenzo, and he's off to a good start.
Jeremy will win this back just to the corner that says Fairfield by Marriott. Right in front will be possessing Matt McKay, the senior defenseman. And he'll stop behind McCaskey's cage for just a moment. Looking for options. They'll try to go for a Hail Mary. And Germs is off to the races. He'll use his speed and win that foot race. A centering pass trying to find Ian Smith. I really love that play call there by McKay, trying to send Germs all the way up. As both sides will battle. It'll be picked up by Tyler Walker. As now Aiden Simino in possession. Simino will get pushed off the puck. However, his centering pass just missed Ian Smith, cutting towards the net. As it'll be dumped back in. Ohio will send this all the way up the ice. Nobody in sight. And icing the call. So we'll have another stoppage of play just halfway through the first period with 10:42 left to go. 1-0 the score, Ohio in favor. Gary mentioned from the game before talking, but the music tonight's just been pretty electric all night as well. Great playlist last night, and they're keeping it going tonight, so we always appreciate that.
And besides the Indiana goal by Ryan Burke in the first period yesterday, it was really a slow start for this Hoosier team. Both sides looked a little sluggish, but Ohio coming out sharp here today.
Absolutely. As Brandenburg just got right back up from the ice. He'll lay a nice hit. And the arm flies up. That's going to be a penalty going against the Hoosiers. I'm curious to see what he's going to call, because I saw the defender with the puck and Brandy go at him and make a nice hit, but I'm going to say 2 minutes for roughing. So the Hoosiers will now be shorthanded for the next 2 minutes. Brandenburg, one of those players that's always great on the PK, the penalty kill unit, so having him not out there is definitely a small miss. However, his partner in crime, Andrew Chambers, is right out there. Ohio once again in possession.
And he doesn't take many penalties either. So.
Exactly. And already Chambers quick to the scene, so Ryan Burke will fill in as Chambers will grab it in the far side corner. Burke thought about stepping in to help, but he's going to retreat back. As Scanlon will pick this puck up on his backhand. He'll leave it back off, and Ohio will reset back in their own end. Swinging in is going to be Walker. He'll try to chip it off the glass, but Ryan Burke right there. He'll send it right back in. Now Andrew Owen will chase for a moment. Ohio, a stretch pass to the middle, will be connected with Pogliali. It'll be sent back to Tamborski. Tamborski up to the top. Back to the far side. It'll be Josefak. He'll get pushed along the glass. As Myers, some good defense there. Back to the point, try to find Tamborski, but off the wall. That banked off and will go all the way back to the end of Ohio. Just 35 seconds to go on the Brandenburg roughing Meyer. Some miscommunication there on that pickup. As Tamborski will now regain. It will be dumped in deep. Jack Hawkins will take a slap shot, and this will rim all the way back around. Zazon will step out of his cage to play it. And Ohio, with just 10 seconds, will likely have one more rush up ice before we return back to even strength. A turnover. Here's Castricane. He'll have a shot. This one deflects high and to the far side. Cash grabs one back. He tried a centering pass there, although no one else was in the zone to help him. Chambers sent this one back. Ohio a little too fancy there, trying to break out. Cycle play as Jack Hawkins once again regains possession. He'll bank it off the wall to Andrew Owen. As Hawkins will send it up to Castricane. Castricane's pass stolen away. However, the Hoosiers once again regain possession. Here's Ben Rosenberg. Rosenberg fakes to the middle. He'll try a pass. Castricane, nothing but space. He'll shoot this one, and it deflects high and out of play. Almost golden opportunity for him there. Just sticks in the middle. Stopped his shooting lane. 7:34 left to play in the first.
Indiana did a good job killing off that penalty, and then we're able to generate some offensive opportunities directly after. Now they've got a face-off in the O zone. If they can win this one, keep it going.
As Ohio will win this back. Owen will swing in to help. As Capuzzi will decide to chip it in. It'll be McClure to the first one on this loose puck. And quickly sent back. Now Will Kicker. Here's Rosenberg. He'll cross the blue line. Rosenberg fires this one. Tried to go short side again. I'll tell you, Garrett, the Hoosiers that have been coming down the left wing, everyone's trying to go high blocker and get it past Zazon.
From what I can see, he's been covering it. Not much of a shooting lane there, but I don't know, maybe they noticed something in yesterday's game from Zazon. Trying to take advantage of it. So far, no luck.
It's not been too many series we've had this year either that we've seen the same goaltenders for both sides come out back-to-back nights. Although sometimes that's just how it is. Ohio will break out to the far side. McClure quickly cuts this off. However, stolen away. Coward, a centering pass, try to find Josefak. As Jeremy will try to send it to the far side, looking for DiLorenzo. Tamborski settles it down, and he'll put this one on the stick of Salvatore Pogliali. This one loose on the doorstep. Pogliali tries to send it back. As Josefak now in possession. Off to the point, it's Tamborski. His shot didn't make it through. As Kicker will get collided with and run into the boards. It will finally be re-picked up by Ohio, as they'll just decide to dump it in and chase. McClure, facing some pressure, will get knocked to the ground. As Steve Wheatley will carry it. He'll cross the blue line and settle for a moment. Well, a delayed penalty, and this one is going to go against Ohio. It's going to be Nick Coward, the junior forward, for 2 minutes. Oh, Indiana will be gifted with their first power play of the evening. It'll come at 5:49 here in the first. And Coach Weitz will send out power play unit number 1 to see if they can tuck one away. The power play had some struggles last night, so we'll see if they were able to adjust last few hours. A new day today. It'll be Danner as he'll trip over his own skates. Matt McKay will gain possession, and he'll start to work up ice. McKay will deke through 2 players. So they gave Coward 2 minutes for cross-check, pardon me. We missed the call originally. So Rosenberg will now have a skate as he'll leave it off for Simoneau. Simoneau for Jeremy. Back to Simoneau. Simoneau down below. Rosenberg off to the point. DiLorenzo able to just throw his stick out there. And a 2-on-1 the other way, Ohio. A diving Ethan DiLorenzo will break up that pass, and now Aiden Simoneau the other way. Rosenberg fires this one, trying to go high left. As that hit the glass, it'll be sent back to the point. McKay will leave it back for DiLorenzo. Back to McKay. It'll connect to Jeremy. On the tape, try to go to Rosenberg in the far side of the slot. As Jeremy will circle back down below. Another centering pass. Tried to find Rosenberg. That was a little forced. And icing. Still 37 seconds left to go on Coward's cross-check. We'll see if Indiana can get up ice one more time. It'll be Ryan Burke as he'll throw on the brakes. It'll be sent back to Luke Slavin. Slavin leaves it right back off for Burke. Burke fires this one. That goes off a defender's stick and back down to the ice. Just 10 seconds to go. Andrew Owen back down to Slavin. Slavin tried to find Castricane cutting towards the net. Cass regains possession. As Ohio returns a man to the ice, we're back to even 5-on-5 strength. Owen sends one back, and Ohio will work the other way. It'll be Harubin, and he'll have that stripped away from him. Not much longer now. Feldman decides to take a steal right back from the Hoosiers. As it'll finally be slowed back down by Hawkins. He'll get sent into the boards, but sends it up the wing. To the far side, Luke Slavin will settle this puck down. Slavin tries to send it down below, but quickly a few Bobcats right on him. Hawkins fires one. He tees one up from the point, and that one misses just wide. Hardy thought about stepping, but retreated back as Mike Campbell will send it to the far side wing.
Haven't had a whistle in a while here.
You're right. And down to just 2:53 remaining in the first. Hawkins will once again get hit. Castricane, a shot. Pat to DiLorenzo, who tried to get that one off as that bouncing puck just could not have been settled. But DiLorenzo, some great speed cutting down towards the net.
Yeah, just a roller. Unfortunate for Indiana as DiLorenzo was streaking in off the bench.
As Hardy will leave this off for Hawkins. Hawkins swings in. He'll get pushed against the glass, but still moving up ice. As finally, Danner was the one that knocked him away from it. DiLorenzo will get tripped up right in front of us. And back to the neutral zone, this puck works. McClure connects to Jeremy. Jeremy gives it back up to Steve Wheatley. Wheatley tries to cut to the middle, but with 4 Bobcats right in front of him, he was unable to get past. McClure banks one off. As Will Kicker will have a skate up ice. Kicker crosses the red line and just decides to dump it in. So Zazan will step out of his net to play it as Johnson try to break out past there off the glass. McCaskey now will take a turn out of his net and shoot it around. However, Tamborski able to hold the line. A centering pass there, shot, and a nice pad save by McCaskey. As he was sliding post to post there, had to use his left pad. Castricane, a 1-on-0, tried to go between his legs, but was stopped.
We might make it to the end of the period without another stoppage.
As McKay will get driven into the boards. A good angle there from the defense. Ray Myers will chase all the way back to the goal line, and the official has his arm straight in the air, which means we've gotten icing with 56.6. We almost got there, Garrett.
That's the kind of stoppage we'll take, either that or an Indiana goal, but maybe the icing will lead to a goal.
A late night here in Athens, 10 p.m. game. We're heading right home after, so our ETA is probably going to be about 6 or 6:30 back to Bloomington, so a late night ahead of all of us. But before we do that, a business trip here tonight, as McCaskey will put his glove back on it, and it'll stop now with 48.6 to go. Well, the Hoosiers got their win number 1 of last evening, but game number 2 is just as important as game number 1, and game number 1's in the past. So this right now is the only thing that matters to the team. And I'm sure Coach Andrew Weiss would love to have a nice ride back home with a sweep under his belt. We'll have the Hoosiers now working back up ice as Ben Rosenberg will get pressed along the glass. Owen steps in to help as Rosenberg will look for a wraparound. Still loose in front. Castricane on the second chance. And finally slowed back down. We're just at 20 seconds left in the period as Owen will help dig in. 2 red sweaters and 2 white. In the far side corner, back to the point, it's Hawkins. Hawkins will go over to McKay. McKay cuts in. A centering pass. Hawkins, just 5 seconds. Hawkins fires this one, and a save by Zazon. Coach Weiss is going to change lines real quick. Looks like Chambers' line will head out. Sometimes at the end of the period, there's still 4.4, so McCaskey's going to stay there, but I think anything less than 3 seconds, Coach Weiss likes to pull. But Meyer sends one in the deflection, in the direction of the net. And we'll finally hear the buzzer ending our first 20 minutes here. 1-0, the Ohio Bobcats lead, and similar to last night, 1-0 was the score after our first period. So far, it's been a tight one. Garrett, what have you seen out there?
Well, Indiana, you know, they really struggled to get the puck down low, and not many shots on goal in the frame. They had some good opportunities. They were trying to create from behind the net as well, but they just weren't able to connect on as many passes as they should have, and that's why Ohio's got the 1-0 lead right now.
Well, we've got 20 down and 40 to go, so we'll let the Zamboni do its job, and we'll be back in a few minutes for period number 2. Welcome back for period number 2. Both teams went in and made their adjustments. We'll see if anything looks different here in period number 2 for either side. Andrew Chambers will be ready to set in against Salvatore Poggiali. As Slavin will push a man up against the wall. Back to the point. This one strikes iron. Loose in front, a second chance. No goal. Wow. What a shot right there. What a rebound. Well, as we mentioned, we did see some change already. This is a brand new line. It'll be compacted of Andrew Chambers, Ryan Burke, and Luke Slavin. So Coach Weiss decided to shake things up a bit and see if they can change. Hopefully put one up there and tie it at 1. Chambers in the forehand will win it back. A very good centerman. Myers leaves it back for Matt McKay. McKay gives it right back to Myers. As McKay will try to work it to the far side. Ryan Burke awaiting, however, it'll be stopped short. Myers up to Slavin. As it'll be once again sent back in deep by Ohio. They'll go for a full dump and change. The Hoosiers have been out there for a full minute, so expect to see them change as soon as they get up ice. Myers. A chip pass to the far side, Slavin. That saucer pass will be stopped short. A high stick by Ohio, and we'll see an offensive zone faceoff for the Hoosiers, and they'll be able to get a line change. So that seemed to work out just fine for them.
Indiana will take anything they can get right now. You mentioned the line changes.
And yeah, another one here. There'll be Patrick Brandenburg with Ian Smith and Aiden Simino. However, the defense pairings will stay the same. It's McClure and Kicker out there. Ohio will win this back in their own end. As Kicker ran out of time and space there, just try to chip it back. As here will be Ohio driving towards the net, trying to go 5-hole save. I believe that was Danner on the shot. It was. And Brendan McCaskey makes a huge save right there.
Big save.
Ohio drives towards the net. Aiden Simino says not today. Him and Ian Smith. Smitty puts this one towards the net. It goes just wide. As some bodies collide, will be sent back trying to find Smith, but Ohio now a 2-on-2 the other way. A backdoor pass, trying to find Riley Scanlon breaking, but he missed. Danner on the backhand. This one once again goes wide. As Hardy will give it up. It'll be Aiden Simino. Simino to the far side will connect with Brandenburg. Brandenburg cuts towards the middle. And he'll drive this one loose in front. Smith buries! I take that back. Steve Wheatley. And how about that? We had Steve on last night between the second and third periods talking about what he saw. And tonight, I guess he decided to go out there and tie it on up.
Wheatley with the rocket of a shot from the blocker side of Matt Zazon, and he puts it home. And
that'll be his first goal, too, as you see that puck get tossed into the Hoosier bench. So, nice job there, buddy. As him and Ian Smith were both on the back door. Stevie's the one that led him through the line of fist pumps at the bench, so that signifies that he got the goal. As he'll now once again have the puck. This time trying to find Ethan DiLorenzo just in front of us. And here's DiLorenzo. They'll try to fake in on the blue line, but lost possession of that puck. So 1-1 our score now as DiLorenzo will cut to the near side. D'Lo fires a shot to the left pad. Great look there, a juicy rebound, but the Hoosiers unable to capitalize, and now they really seem to be buzzing.
That almost hit off a Bobcat and went in as well. It looked like it hit the skate of one of the D-men.
As this one will rim all the way back in the Hoosiers' end, Matt McKay will slow it down. A little reverse hit action there, and now he'll reverse it back to Ray Myers behind the net. As Myers tries to sling one to DiLorenzo, he'll just be caught as he was nearly offsides and try to tag up, but the officials say the Hoosiers were offside, so we'll stop now. It's 16:47 here in the second middle frame, and 1-1 our score.
And Steve Wheatley back on the ice now after his first career goal.
As the Hoosiers win it back, it'll be Ray Myers. He'll fling this one in the direction of the cage, but it'll go just wide and to the left. As it banks off, Ohio will try a breakout the other way. The Hoosiers trying to fire this one a weird angle shot, and I believe that was deflected up and out of play, as it looks like it was. So we'll have another offensive zone face-off for the Hoosiers. As Castricane is set to take this draw. He'll win it back on his backhand to Ray Myers. Myers shoots it down below. As Andrew Owen goes on all fours. It will now be the Bobcats the other way. Well, Myers, some good defense there. Will slow this puck down. However, stolen away by the Bobcats. This one shot deflected high by Nick Capuzzi. As McKay will slow things down for a moment and now start to head up ice back the other way. He'll connect to Owen. It'll be Castricane. And circling back behind McCaskey's net. A little Gretzky curl there. Next thing you know, Ray Myers will give it up to Owen. As the Hoosiers then able to break out of there. Shot from the point there, saved by McCaskey. I get the Hoosiers trying to get up ice quick and maybe have the Bobcats start to chase in a little more once the Hoosiers retreat back in their own end, but at some point you got to start getting up ice.
Yeah, they're trying to make them be over-aggressive, and it's something that we saw at times yesterday, and Indiana was able to capitalize, trying to beat them with what worked.
As this one now is pinned up along the wall. Players from both sides trying to dig it out. Chambers had it as he shoveled it back to the point. And this one went just wide on a shot from the defense. McClure will get banged along the boards. And not long later, it'll be back dump in by Ohio. We'll have Will Kicker get dragged to the ice as Josephak's pass to the point. This one fired up and shot. Back to the point. Shot back in deep.
Diving block made by McClure too.
Slavin drops a man to the ice. As he'll chip it up and pass. Andrew Chambers blocks this one with his cage. Sometimes they say use your head. Chambers thought that in a different way.
He made his chin strap unbuckle a little bit too. Another block for Chambers.
As the Hoosiers just shot blocking machines out there. Still loose down below as Josephak tries to send it back. However, Will Kicker was there instead of one of his teammates, and it looks like he'll put this one on the direction of the net, so no icing to call. The Hoosiers will be able to get a few guys to change, and
this will be an icing.
Ohio now, yeah, as you said, that's an ice. So we'll go back the other way. A possible ice, but on the direction of the net, and then that's what happens when it's not on net. So the Hoosiers will be able to get a full sail line change, get some fresh legs out there, some energized guys. And they'll have an offensive zone face-off here. Brandenburg will tie up his man at the draw. It'll be Jack Hawkins swinging in from the point. He'll steal it away, and Hawkins back to the point. He'll send this one towards the net, but it goes just wide. As back to their own blue line, the Hoosiers work. It'll be D-to-D. Hawkins and Hardy. 12 and 21. It'll be saved away there. And another stoppage of play, 13:41 here in our middle frame.
.11:02 Eastern time now as we're nearing the halfway point of the second, and Goose, it's going to be a long night.
Yes, yes it is, Garrett. It will be a long night. But it's quite all right. As Ohio will start to work out of their own end. Ian Smith will evade a hit, but now the Bobcats the other way. Here's Zach Hardy. He'll take a skate up ice, 3-on-3 the other way. Simino will fake in. He tried a backhand pass to Smith, but it banks off the wall, and he'll chase his own dump. As Hawkins will send it over to Hardy. Hardy will slide this down to Ian Smith. Two of the rookies on this team. As Hardy still with the puck, will drive towards the net. He's looking for options, but really nothing there. Simino lays a hit on a man. It'll make its way all the way back. And McKay will pick it up, and he'll move quickly up ice. As he'll cross the Ohio Bobcat neutral ice. He'll fake in. As this puck now to Ethan DiLorenzo. DiLorenzo fakes one and tried to make a pass there, but sliding on all fours was Tyson Feldman, and he was able to break that pass off. As a hit there on the far side will break up the man from the puck. We'll see Ray Myers try a reverse there, but it was stopped away by an Ohio Bobcat attacking. A centering pass. It'll be Ethan DiLorenzo, as now he'll work up ice. D'Lo tried to juke through a man there, but Tamborski stopped him. As Steve Wheatley will help pressure. His last shift, he just tucked away his first collegiate goal, tying our game at 1. This one took a weird bounce off the boards, and a favorable bounce for Ohio. As Wheatley sends one, tried to go up a connection pass to DiLorenzo, but was stopped by a Bobcat, so we'll now see Jeremy work with it.
Another long stretch of a continuous play right now as well. These two teams are going at it.
And we'll see Ohio rim it back around their own end. Be possessed by Mike Campbell. And now we'll connect up to Whippola. Holden Whippola, a shot on net there. Gloved away by McCaskey. And 11-11, score 1-1. A lot of ones up there on that scoreboard right now. Rosenberg will step in and take this draw. However, Brendan Carmodesi will win it back as Andrew Owen slides it to Castricane. Castricane fires this one from the dot out at neutral ice and saved away by Zazan. So now we'll flip ends of the ice, and just 10 seconds later, the Hoosiers will be on the offensive side of things. As some bodies collide, it'll make its way onto the net of McCaskey. So no icing, but Ohio will retreat back to their own end to find this loose puck as they'll work D-to-D. That saucer pass there was met by Paul McClure. And he'll send a tape-to-tape pass to Owen, but dumped in deep by Ohio as soon as they were able to touch it. McClure's pass will connect. It looked like this one went off of a shin guard of a Bobcat and deflected out of play. So it'll send this draw to neutral ice. And now we're 10:33 left to go in the second. About halfway through this game, 1-1. And Garrett, kind of like we mentioned, it's going to be a tight game, and so far it's been just that. Although not as chippy as we were expecting.
No,
both teams seem to have their heads, and we haven't seen too many penalties, but I don't want to jinx it as there's a lot of game left to be played.
This is completely different style game than what we saw yesterday.
It really is. Both teams look a lot different. As Castricane will chip this one off the boards. Will be dumped back in deep by Ohio. It's OU's centering pass there. Stolen away. Here's Castricane. He'll turn the Jets on. He'll drive to the outside. He'll fire this one off Zazon's stomach. And back down to the ice. They'll make the cover. Castricane will step in and take this draw. It'll be shot quickly on net by Owen. And it's once again met with Owen. As he'll send to the far side, it's Hardy. Hardy slides down, this one off the blocker and deflects out of play again off of Zazon. Though will stay in the Ohio defensive zone. Both teams will have both lines stay out there. Rosie wins it back. This one, slap shot coming off of Zach Hardy's stick will miss the net. As Castricane tries deking in there, he'll get collided with a man and be bodied off the puck. As Rosenberg works down below, he'll scoop this puck on his forehand. He'll fake in a wraparound chance there, and moving from post to post in the butterfly, Zazon makes a stop. A nice hit there by Rosenberg. As Andrew Owen will now chase behind the net. The Bobcats will work up ice the other way as this one will be deflected off. Looks to be the stick of Pogiali. As he'll chip it off the boards. Back to the point. Tamborski fires a rip. This one deflected off Owen's stick and never made it on net. That one never had a chance, but the Hoosiers now work up ice. As Rosenberg will dump it in deep, the Hoosiers will get a full sail line change. We're down to just under 9 minutes here to play in the second. As the Bobcats chip this one high and hard off the glass. It'll be stolen away. Faking in a backhand shot. Second chance by Danner. Loose on the backhand.
Oh my
this
God.
one, and what a save there by Ray Myers, sprawling out in the blue paint.
My goodness.
That shot came from Riley Scanlon, and Myers completely sprawled out, made the stop with his body. And Ray Myers just saved a goal for the Indiana Hoosiers.
Myers and Chambers were down there, it looked like, sprawled out in the crease.
As back to the Indiana defense, this will work. Right to Matt McKay. He'll have a centering pass that'll now be forwarded ahead and right back to him. As they'll cross the blue line, Chambers will spread things out. Chasing is Colin Ruffner, as well as Luke Slavin out there with him. As Ruffner, looking for options, will send it off the boards. A bank pass to Myers. Myers will now have a shot on net. Still loose in front.
I think everybody thought that was in.
Myers started celebrating. He had his hands in the air. As Scanlon will chase him, he just stopped Scanlon from a goal. You can expect to want to get that one back. As Slavin whiffed on that pass, he'll still connect with McKay, and the Hoosiers cross the blue line again. McKay drives towards the middle. He'll make his way back out to the blue line and just decide to dump it in deep. So the Hoosiers will have to tag up with the delayed offsides. As they do, Ohio will now work up ice. As Indiana will chase down below, it'll be Patrick Brandenburg, the first one on the scene. Brandenburg looking for a centering pass. He'll send it back to McClure. McClure fires this one. Tipped in front by Simino. And that one went just to the wide and right. McClure fires another rip. However, this one stopped away by the stick of a Bobcat forward. And Ian Smith tried dangling there. Zazon sprawling out of his net to make that stop will. And we'll have a whistle with 6:57 here in the second.
I can't quite put my finger on what to expect out of this game at this point. I mean, it's 1-1 still.
Yeah, we could easily see it going one way, another, or even another, as one team could take over and just completely take possession of this game, but I just really don't see it going that way, Garrett. As both teams really seem to want this one. Blood, sweat, and tears on this Saturday night in Athens. As we'll have this shot go just wide That came off the stick of Holden Whippola. Ian Smith will be chased and harassed behind his own net. And back to the point. This one will be teed up and fired from Jack Mueller. Nothing doing there, as it'll once again deflect back to the point. It'll be Vinny Rengel, as Vinny will chip it into the far side corner. Swooping in to get it is Patrick Brandenburg, as his centering pass was stolen away. Ohio able to hold the line, and shot and scored a tip in front. That went off the stick of Brendan Camoranesi. As the shot from Vinny Rengel right in front of the Ohio bench. And now 2-1 our score.
It could go either way. That's what we were saying, and Ohio jumps back out in front.
Indiana quickly will dump it in. And Di Lorenzo, the first one on the scene. He gave his full hustle there. As now, he'll be sent back. This will be Jack Hawkins as he'll get collided with. As he'll get nudged off the puck. And it'll be Zach Hardy with it. Hardy will evade a forechecker. And he'll also dump it, trying to get it out of the zone. Will be held in and possessed by Ohio. They'll shoot this one. It's deflected wide. And now it'll be scooped up by Nick Coward. As Joseph Ack will swing down below. Just the Bobcats cycling in the Hoosiers' end. Joseph Ack will tee this one up. This one hits the glass. He shot that one over the net. As Wheatley able to get out there, trying to poke it forward. Di Lorenzo trying to wait and go for a breakaway. Ohio cuts in, and this one, an absolute ripper right to the stomach, and a great save once again by McCaskey. Well, both teams will change, and a stoppage of play here with 5:10 left in period 2.
And Goose, we've been on this end of the ice for a long period of time in the second period. Indiana struggling to get it to the offensive end.
They really have struggled. They just don't seem to have their confidence in the defensive zone as they normally do. As Ohio's forecheck has been very great all weekend long. The Hoosiers really had a tough time getting up ice. As Rosenberg now fires this one, it'll go just wide. Castricane will get nudged off the puck there. As Rosenberg quickly grabbed that puck, the official's arm flies right up in the air, and Castricane is just going to go head to the box. Looks like he knew what he did wrong. And they're going to call interference on Nick Castricane. So the Hoosiers will be down a man for 2 minutes, and we'll have an offensive zone face-off for the Bobcats with 4:43 here in the second period.
Not ideal for Indiana right there, and they're making things a lot harder on themselves.
Walker will win it back. They'll send it point to point as the Bobcat defense will fire this one. Saved loose in front. A second chance opportunity from Harubin. Back to the point it'll go. This one fired off. This one strikes post. No goal. As Tamborski once again receives this pass. They'll send it point to point. As this one's teed up high, and a knuckle puck there just didn't make its way through. Myers able to send it back to neutral ice. As the Bobcats regroup, Brandenburg will chase. Oh, him and Chambers, the two out there, will likely see an aggressive kill here and try to stop the bleeding as 2-1 our score. The Bobcats fly into the zone, tried to go 5-hole there. It looked to be Josephak, but he was stopped by McCaskey. We'll have Pogiali step in and take this one against Aiden Simino in the Hoosiers defensive zone, as Myers will get pressed hard along the glass.
And there's no penalty on that one.
Myers slow to get up.
Looked like he lined him up on the numbers to me.
Yeah, I thought I saw the same thing. And the officials are going to talk about this for a moment. We'll let them discuss for just a minute longer, but so they're not going to call anything. No penalty will be called, as Ohio will win this off the draw. Will be chipped up and out of play into the Ohio bench. And another stoppage of play. They'll have to get a fresh piece of rubber out to go back into play.
Now Indiana remains shorthanded as well for another minute and 2 seconds. And here comes Myers.
They're not going to let Myers come out because I believe the Hoosiers sent that out of play in their own end, so they can't change there. Myers will probably get out right as soon as he can. Glad to see he's okay. This puck will be sent along. As Ohio back down below will be chased by McKay. McKay will chip it up high. Sent back down. We'll have a 2-on-1. Ryan Burke. Burke tries to go high glove side, and making the save there was Zazon.
Shot it right into the glove from about point blank range. Zazon able to snag it.
Myers will finally return back to the ice. And there's still 39 seconds to go on Castricano's minor for interference. As the official will chuck the rubber biscuit back down, Myers will have to retreat back to his own end to play this one. As McKay will just decide to load this one up, and he'll send a saucer pass all the way the length of the ice. Just 3 minutes to play here in the second. As OU will work up ice. A pass to the far side sent in by Trent Johnson. Not long after, McKay will step up, and he'll send another clear all the way down. As Zazon fully out of his net to play it. And just 2 seconds, the Hoosiers will return a man back to the ice. We're at even 5-on-5 strength. As this one sent up the middle, will be stolen away by Ruffner. Although stuck in his skates, he was unable to get a shot on net, but he was able to send it back in deep. As a centering pass there came, a second chance by Slavin. He'll try to send it high and elevate it, but sent back down to the ice by a sprawling Zazon. He'll make the stop. Kicker now fires a shot, and with the stick save by him, Ohio not able to go down the other way for an odd man rush. Slavin will grab the puck. As now Ohio in possession. We'll chip it off the glass. We'll hear a whistle and kind of a blind spot right behind the Hoosier bench for us. We can't see what's going on, but it looks like offsides is what the official made the call there. So we'll stop now with just under 2 minutes to play. Plenty of time for more action here in the second. As it'll be tied up and won by Ohio. Wilpula swung in to grab it and send it back to his point. Oh, deflected. Ruffner sends it to Slavin. Slavin tries to tee up a shot there, but couldn't make it through with traffic in front. As it rims all the way around, we've got Ruffner. As Colin Ruffner tries to send this towards the middle. He'll be stopped there, and Ohio will clear it all the way the length of the ice for an icing, so they'll be stuck out there with no change. We'll see if this is an opportunity for the Hoosiers late in the second to try to bury one and tie this thing at 2. Rosenberg will step in and take this draw, and he'll win it back to Zach Hardy. Hardy will finesse this puck to the corner, past a few defenders on the wall. As both sides trying to find this loose puck. It'll be given off back down below. As Ohio will work it. It'll be picked up by Vinny Rengel. He had the assist in the last goal there. His shot came from the point on the power play. Andrew Owen will get pushed along the glass. He'll lose his stick, but the puck's still in his feet. As you may have heard, we are just under a minute to go in the second. Castricani back to the point. Hardy right back to Cass, but just missed him. There's another odd bounce there. Will make its way to neutral ice. Hardy, the first one on the scene, will try to chip it off the wall. Down to just 30 seconds. We'll see one more rush from the Hoosiers, as Hardy will probably skate it all the way up. He'll fake in and go back out before he'll get pushed into the boards.
Try to get another shot here.
As now Ohio a 2-on-1 the other way. A centering pass stopped away by McKay. Still 10 seconds to go. This won't connect to the far side, but it's the wrong team, as Ethan DiLorenzo had that now stripped away from him. This one shot on net. As we see the clock run down to all zeros, we'll have our second intermission. And now 2-1. So 2 more goals. 1 goal period 1, 2 in period 2. We'll see what period 3 has to bring. But for now, we'll take a brief break here. Andrew Gus with Garrett Drake on the Indiana Hockey Broadcast Network. 40 minutes down and 20 left to go. As we approach the third period, the ice is all ready to go, and the players are back out on the ice. 2-1, Ohio leads, and I think this third period will be a ride, Garrett.
No question about that. Indiana trailing 2-1, as you touched on, and they'd really love to go home this late with a sweep. They've got some work cut out for them to make it happen, but we've seen this team do things like this before.
Absolutely. It wouldn't be their first time playing from behind. And word on the street is that the Hoosiers are going back to their original lines from the start of the game. Let's see what they can do. It'll be one back by Ohio and quickly dumped in. This puck deflects high and back down to play. Will be rimmed around as Brandenburg will meet this puck. Chambers will swing it back to Myers behind the cage. Stolen away by Ohio, and once more stolen away back, this time by the Hoosiers. As Ray Myers will start to work up ice. He looked for a Burke up the middle, but unable to do so. Ohio now works the other way. McKay, a dirty toe drag there. We'll send it to the far side. We'll have Chambers. Chambers tried to slide that to the middle. But once again, the Hoosiers, a little bit of miscommunication, and the Bobcats a 2-on-1. This one shot high and out of play off the stick of Salvatore Poggiali. As Poggiali took a shot there, tried to go top left where Brendan McCaskey's water bottle is, blocker's side. And Brendan just deflected that one on a play, made the save. We'll reset.
Yeah, he's going to shut that one down pretty easily, and it's been a great game for McCaskey, just a bad break and one that he didn't see.
As the Hoosiers will send this one up ahead. Tried to find Rosenberg breaking. Unable to capitalize there. As it'll be rimmed back around. This one shot on and deflected away by the Hoosiers. Rosenberg starts to move it up ice. Ruffner sent that one in deep to late offsides. I don't know, Garrett, I thought that was offsides personally, but the official didn't call anything. As Simoneau sends a man flying down to the ice, that's Riley Scanlon. Delayed penalty, and we're going to have our first penalty of the third period. It looks like it's going to be going against the Bobcats, as Scanlon will march over to the box, and he'll hop right in there. So now the Hoosiers, a 2-minute power play with 18:33 here in the third. This could be just what the doctor ordered. As will be sent back by Di Lorenzo. He'll put on the brakes and try to send it back down below. It'll be Simoneau. He looked to McKay. Decided not to pass. A little hesitation move there. As Joseph Akop ice the other way. Both teams trying to find it. And coming up with it will be Will Jeremy. McKay will fake in, start going out, and he'll have that stripped away from him. This will be Ethan Di Lorenzo. He'll cross over left and right as he'll try to go towards the net. D'Lo fires one. This one goes just wide. Now, Garrett, the Hoosiers are just skating in and shooting on net. They're not setting up their power play whatsoever, as they finally do here. This one shot on net. Simoneau tried a second chance there, but they're really just not setting up their power play as they normally do. Di Lorenzo will swing it back to Jeremy. And he'll leave it off for Di Lorenzo once again. Jeremy will be pressed by a guy. He'll now dig in towards the net. Jeremy fires a shot. This one just covered up by the glove. And once again, another stop by Zazon. 43 seconds to go. Now, Garrett, the reason I say that is I know, A, you want to love getting shots and pucks to the net as well as bodies, but B, you want the best angle possible, and you can't really set that up if you're just teeing it up from the blue line every time. You got to get in there and set it up. We see this power play work the best when they work it down below. set up the cycle. And normally they have a backdoor pass wide open, but once again, we just have not yet seen that here tonight. As Ohio once again steals it away, and they'll clear it down. So Matt McKay will regroup in his own end with just 25 seconds left to go on the power play. And he'll leave it off for Ethan DiLorenzo. DiLorenzo now moves up ice. Slavin able to hold the blue line. As this one just once again makes it past DiLorenzo.
That's going to do it.
Yep, just 5 seconds left to go on the power play. That'll be it. As Castricane fakes in, he'll start skating outwards. And is that too many men? Yeah, there's 6 guys on the ice right now. Ohio's going to go right back to the box.
Very fortunate break for the Hoosiers there after a sloppy power play.
Some miscommunication there from Ohio. They're going to send, it looks to be Tyson Feldman, the freshman forward, to sit for 2, but Scanlon was trying to get out of the box, and it looked to be Feldman already out there on the ice, and Ohio fully in possession of the puck. Scanlon was just trying to hide in the box so he didn't have to go out there. He knew his team was going to get caught, but the Hoosiers this time really is a gift as another 2 minutes go back up on the board. We'll see if the power play can strike this time. As sent back to the point, it's DiLorenzo. He'll slide it down below. Tic-tac, and Simoneau the backhand. A save right there by the pad. DiLorenzo swings it up. Rosenberg fires this one, a shave. And Garrett already, just 14 seconds, I think that power play has already been way better than the last one they just had.
Absolutely.
And that's what they need to do right there, work that puck. That's the confidence, the energy we need to see right there. And that's when they seem to have their success. So we'll see if they can keep that up. As Germs wins it over, back to the point, it's Matt McKay. McKay slides this back to the top. It's DiLorenzo waiting. Jeremy back down below. Rosenberg scanning for options. Jeremy looks back to the point. It'll be DiLorenzo at the top of the circle. They'll send it over to McKay. McKay slides it back to Germ. Germ fires this one, and it goes deflected off a shin guard and wide. Now here's DiLorenzo now. He'll fake in, and he'll be stuffed by a defender. But Rosenberg picking up speed. He'll skate all the way back down below. He'll retie that back to his stick. Shot sent high from McKay at the point. Nothing doing there. DiLorenzo sends this one in the direction of the net.
Oh.
Loose in the back door. Nothing doing there once again. As DiLorenzo almost teed that one up, he'll slide it back to McKay. McKay looking for options. We'll have Jeremy. Jeremy fires this one high, and it'll go a little wide. DiLorenzo puts on the brakes. He'll fake in. DiLorenzo tries this one once again outside and wide. Back to the point, DiLorenzo will swing it back to McKay. McKay fires this one off the end boards and all the way back. The power play unit's been out there for a full minute 45, so we'll do a full change. As McCaskey out of his net to play it, we'll give it off to Ray Myers. As Burke will now swing in to pick it up. Time will tick off the clock, and 2 for 2 the last 4 minutes. Ohio's been shorthanded, and they were able to kill off both penalties. Still loose in front now as Myers will swing down below. Ray will send this in the direction of the net, but quickly the Bobcats will regain possession. They'll send it back in their own end. It's Joe Fulmer. Fulmer sends this one high up into the sky, and it almost lands directly back in neutral ice on the blue dot at center ice. But coming out of his own end and shooting it out of play, the Bobcats will be back in their own defensive zone for this faceoff. It'll take place off to the left of Matt Dazon. Swinging in to pick up this puck is Jack Hawkins, the big sophomore defenseman. We'll try to fake in. We'll have that strip from him. As Riley Scanlon works up ice the other way. Scanlon puts on the brakes. He'll try to slide a pass all the way across, but Andrew Chambers of the Indiana Hoosiers will steal it away and work back to the offensive zone. As Chambers lost an edge there, sends it around. Peyton Bodic able to chip it up high, as McClure will fight him off. They'll both be torn down to the ice and quick to their feet. As Myers evades a man, he'll lose his stick. And Ohio works back in the other way. A stick check there from McClure, forced an odd angled shot, and that one deflected up and out of play. Now 13:09 here in the third.
And Myers, fortunate to not get called for a penalty there. I know he didn't mean to probably, but it looked like he threw his stick a little bit, and the Ohio bench was questioning it, but the officials let it go.
We'll reset in the Hoosiers' end as Castricane is set to take this against Bodic. Will Kicker swings all the way around. As here's Andrew Owen, ace as the team calls him. Will swing it towards the middle, but Bodic stole it away. As Kicker will give everything he's got to race. He'll be driven down to the ice. The arm flies right to the air. Delayed penalty for the Hoosiers. Slavin will pick it up, and the Hoosiers will try to slow it down to get McCaskey out of the net. So they'll bring an extra man as this delayed penalty, but the Hoosiers finally crossed the blue line. Ace pressed off the puck, and Ohio touches it. We'll slow it down. Hey, Garrett, definitely just some hesitation from the Hoosiers tonight.
Yeah.
The instinct is just not there as it normally is, and there's normally a lot of confidence from this team, but tonight it just does not seem like every player wants to go for the puck themselves right away, looking for the guy next to you to possibly go for it. So hopefully they can tighten that up here with the last 12:32. This will be their third power play of the third period. So far they're 0 for 2. As it goes up high off the glass, Jeremy looking for options. Will get pressured by two guys, so he'll send it down below to the open man. He's got Rosenberg. Rosenberg on the forehand and the backhand. Right back to the point. Jeremy slides it over to Di Lorenzo. Di Lorenzo leaves it off for Jeremy. Jeremy tried to go to the back door, but was read there by the defense, and his pass did not make it through. Jeremy will leave it off for Di Lorenzo. And that one will just bounce off McKay's stick and go in deep. And that'll be a Hoosier icing.
Indiana's been gifted a few power plays early in this third period, and so far the Ohio penalty kill has been very aggressive, swarming to the puck, and no luck for the Hoosiers.
It has been, as they'll work to the far side. It'll be Aiden Simino. He'll cross the blue line, trying to slow it down, looking for McKay in the middle. As a man open wide, up neutral ice. It'll be Walker. Walker, a one-on-one. Tried to shoot that one, it went up and out of play. So just a minute still to go on the penalty from Nolan Harubin after about a minute ago. He tripped up Will Kicker going back into his own end. So a minute still to play on the power play for the Hoosiers. As Jeremy looks for options, he'll give it off to McKay. We'll send it off to Simino. Simino tries to feed it down below, also to Rosenberg, as now they'll finally work back and forth. Jeremy sends it back to Simino. Simino right back to Jeremy, and that'll miss him and go all the way back. A free icing there for the Bobcats. As Rosenberg will chip this back. It'll be Jeremy to the far side. It'll be McKay now. McKay sends it down below. It's Aiden Simino. Simino, a centering pass to Castricane. He'll shoot and score! A Hoosier power play goal. We're tied at 2. And that right there, Garrett, is what you got to do. They finally found that centering pass, and Castricane, coming off the bench, found that pass in the slot and went far side glove, beating Zazan.
3 quick passes for the boys. They weren't standing around surveying, thinking about what to do with the puck. It was on their tape, and then it was off it, and then it leads to the goal by Castricane. Great play.
It'll be one back by the Ohio defense as Luke Slavin will take this. Slavin fires this one now, deflected high, sent back to the ice. And Garrett, that's what the Hoosiers needed right there to get amped right back up. As Jack Hawkins will send one back. Will be carried up ice. Slavin left it off. Ian Smith tried to go, but Castricane was just a foot offside. So they'll blow that dead with 10-12 here to go in the third. They're yet to change the scoreboard up on the big board, but it is 2-2 after Castricane's goal just seconds ago.
Halfway through the final period now as well, in case we need extra time.
Wouldn't be the first time we've seen it from these two teams, Garrett, that's for sure.
We needed a lot of extra time last meeting.
As they'll say, Constantino's wrapped to score that goal, but that was Nick Castricane. So it'll be sent right back in deep by Zach Hardy. So the Hoosiers will have to tag up, and they'll go back in as Ohio had a second to break out. They'll connect it to a pass to Tamborski as he'll drive in. His shot scores! Tamborski beats McCaskey far side blocker. And less than a minute later, an answer from the Bobcats. They'll regain the lead at 3-2 with 9:41 here in the third. The Hoosiers were just starting to get re-amped back up. There's some dead time in the early part of the period. We'll see if that goal re-energizes them and tries to have them respond real quick right back. We'll see if they can answer. As the referee sends this puck back down into play, Will Kicker will give it off to McClure. A pass to Simino will just bounce off his stick and be dumped back in. Ohio with another chance down below. Will Kicker's gonna take this. He'll be joined with Ruffner. Kicker tries a shot there, but defenseman down to one knee. That was Mike Campbell. Able to make the block. As Simino will regain possession. He'll centering pass up to Ruffner. Ruffner will cross the blue paint of the blue line. And down below, Rosenberg had that stripped away from him by Vinny Rengel. Bodic over to Rengel. He'll send it off the boards, and Myers steps up. And we'll just dump it in deep as the Hoosiers finally change. Now down to just 8:35 here in the third. They'll connect with a pass. A 1-on-0 breakaway. McCaskey, a huge save. Harubin left alone on a breakaway. And the Hoosiers are lucky for Brendan McCaskey in that. A great save there. Be Steve Wheatley working up ice. Steve Yardy with one goal tonight. A centering pass. DiLorenzo loose on the doorstep. Jeremy shoots and just misses wide. Steve Wheatley got pushed off the puck there as Rengel now moves the other way. McKay drops him away from the puck as Bodic fakes in. Just some back and forth. Possession, it'll be McKay. As he'll fire one all the way up to DiLorenzo. It'll connect. DiLorenzo to Jeremy. He had two guys on him there and unable to get anything going. Hawkins able to hold it down, but stolen away once more by Walker. Walker fires a shot and saved away by McCaskey. Coach Weiss might have to shorten the bench here in the next 7:36 and try to find some solution to being down one goal right now.
Man, Indiana grabbed momentum back when Castricane got the equalizer, and ever since that point, it's all gone straight back to Ohio, and they're firmly in control of this one right now.
As the Indiana Hoosiers able to win this draw, Slavin awaits that pass. Tried to find Owen, but just missed him. Hawkins flings one over to Zach Hardy. We'll give it back to Hawkins. Hawkins, a pass will connect right up to Andrew Owen. Owen across the blue line. Tries to send this one over to Castricane, who had the most recent Hoosier goal. Delayed icing, we'll hear the whistle, and 7:03 head back to the Ohio Bobcat zone. Well, with 7:03 here to play in the third, Castricane will be set to take this draw against Brendan Carmodesi as the Bobcats win it. Will be chipped up into neutral ice as Castricane bumps it up to Slavin. Will now be carried by Johnson. As Castricane will send it to Slavin. Slavin fires a shot. This one deflected off the pad. As they'll rim back around, it'll be Holden Whippola. As Castricane lays an open ice hit. Just knocked the man off the puck. We're down to 6:25 as Will Kicker regains possession. They'll try to find Slavin. No icing to call. He was able to get it in deep for a second. As the Hoosiers change, it'll be Kicker stepping up to play. The Bobcats fling this one all the way down, and we'll have another icing with 6:11 here in the third.
Indiana's going to take advantage of one of these icing calls and win the draw and get a quick shot on net.
We're going to have Rosenberg, Simoneau, and Ruffner out there. As Simoneau receives this puck off the draw, will be sent in deep. Ruffner pushed away from the puck, almost got that one heading towards the direction of the net. As McKay tries to slow it down, it'll just be dumped in deep by Josephak. McKay races back behind as he'll give it off to Ray Myers. Myers, the sophomore defenseman, will give it right back as Aiden Simoneau now possesses. He'll try to pass there between a defender's legs, but that came a little off angle after it hit a skate in neutral ice. Myers able to calm this bouncing puck down. Will quickly stolen away once again by the Bobcats. There's some miscommunication out there as Indiana almost calmed that puck down, but unable to. Myers tried to find Rosenberg. He will, but Rosenberg lost an edge there and fell down to the ice. Simoneau swings in. He'll send a centering pass. Chambers driving towards the net. Loose in front. That'll go just wide as McKay will have to race back to the point to find this puck. McKay facing some heavy pressure from the Bobcats. Will send it back down below to Simoneau. Although the Bobcats able to work up ice. It'll be Xander Danner as he'll cross the blue line. Hawkins steps up to play it. He'll clear it out of his own end and try to chase through the neutral zone, but it'll be slowed down. Here's Patrick Brandenburg. And so send it to the far side. Right back to the near side, it will be Ryan Burke. Well, he'll have his stick lifted. And Ohio will dump this in deep. We're down to just 4:22.
Indiana really struggling to get past the neutral zone here.
As Hawkins will dump it in deep. He'll chase. His pass will be held in by Zach Hardy. Hardy will send it back down low to Hawkins. Hawkins the direction of the net, but stepping out of his net to make the catch was Matthew Zazon, and we'll hear the whistle as Zazon made the save. So 4:04 to play, 3-2. Ohio leads Indiana. With the Hoosiers trailing by 1. We'll see if Coach Weiss will be pulling Brandon McCaskey, I'm assuming, in the next 2 minutes or so, if they're not able to score before then. As Owen will put the pressure on, it'll be McKay off to the point. D-to-D Myers. Myers sends this one as it's blockered away. Castricane fakes it up as he'll go back to Matt McKay. And will be slowed back down and carried up by Trent Johnson. And this one slapped at. It will be possessed by Peyton Botich of Ohio, as he'll leave it off for Feldman. Feldman drives in. This one fired wide. There's a loose puck. Will once again be picked up by Slavin. Slavin over to Owen. Owen right back to Slavin. Slavin pushed off the puck. Will have to chase hard down below. McKay had this sticked away.
Oh, no.
And Pogiani will be on a breakaway. However, he'll lose that puck and unable to get anything going there. McClure will chase back. As you can already see, DiLorenzo's trying to get up ice quick. DiLorenzo will hang out in the neutral zone for a moment. As it'll be sent up to Slavin, and now to DiLorenzo just passed.
We got a penalty.
Delayed penalty. I think this is going to go against Ohio.
McKay got slammed into the boards.
Back to his feet, so the Hoosiers a power play with 2:44 here in the third.
And that could not have been at a better time.
They really couldn't have.
As now, if they elect to pull McCaskey, if we get into a dire situation, it'll be a 6-on-4. They'll play out the majority of the power play with 5, I'm sure, but if it gets down to the final minute, McCaskey might still come out.
Now, Garrett, I'm honestly surprised to not see a timeout yet called by Coach Weiss and the Indiana Hoosiers, as we've seen that before when things sometimes have not been going their way. And 2:33 to play, thought maybe they would try to set something up there before the power play. But regardless, Ben Rosenberg will work up as he'll cut towards the net. Rosenberg looking for options, will send it back to Simino and right back to Rosenberg. It'll be stolen away, and Josephac goes the other way. A one-on-one Ohio. Josephac fires this one. It'll go high, and a nice save by McCaskey. Jeremy had to step up to play that one, and will once again make its way past him. Just 1:55 to go on the big board and 1:09 to go on the power play. McKay will send one up as Rosenberg leaves it for Simino. Simino pushes the man off the puck, and Ohio once again able to make the clear.
Nothing going on this power play
The
whatsoever.
Hoosiers haven't even been able to set up in the offensive zone. As Jeremy will swing in, he'll cut up the middle. He'll gain speed and be tripped up, although no call. DiLorenzo will retreat back to his own end, and he'll swing it up to Simino. Simino will wrap it all the way around as Zazon out of his net to play it. Kicked back in by, looks like Ray Myers there on the point. Down below, it's DiLorenzo. He's got Castricani open on the wide for the back door. We'll see if they can get it to him. Rosenberg fires this one. Loose down. McCaskey out of the net. It'll be sent down. No icing to call.
Back to even.
6-on-4, and it will now be 6-on-5. We're down to 42 seconds as Slavin carries this up ice. Will be dumped in. Zazon out of his net to play it. A scary play there if you're an Ohio Bobcat. McKay flings this towards the net. Loose in front, and Zazon makes a stop.
They blew the whistle with a loose puck.
And Coach Weiss is going to grab his big board. I think he'll call a timeout. Maybe not. 25.7 to go.
I think he's drawing something up right now in case there's
Okay,
another.
they will call a timeout. I thought so. Yeah. He wanted the players to go in there and give himself a few more seconds to draw up the play. But with 25.7, the Hoosiers are really going to have to dig in deep here, Garrett.
They're going to need to draw up the play of the century right here in this timeout to give themselves a chance. And, you know, thinking back, it's been a long time since we've seen Indiana with 2 goals at this point in any game. The offense just hasn't been there today.
No, they really haven't, Garrett. And they just don't seem to have the pep and the step as they normally do tonight. It's really been off since the get-go at the start of the game. All 60, or I guess 59 and a half minutes that we've seen so far, but we'll see if this last 25.7 they can play Hoosier hockey and try to bury a goal. Coach Weiss will send on his top guys as Rosenberg will step in and take this face-off against Pogiani. It'll be tied up as Ohio will win it. It'll be flung deep. And no icing to call. That's crazy. A save there, and Ohio able to score.
Wow.
Well, Matt McKay, I really thought won that foot race. He even reached out with his stick, and the officials said no icing, which is kind of absurd.
Well, that's going to do it.
In a close game like that, that's a terrible call, in my opinion. I really just don't like that. But
And the Indiana win streak going to come to an end at 10 games.
I guess it's not the NHL where you can make a challenge either, but a really tough break for the Hoosiers as Ohio able to score. So 4-2, Ohio will take the lead with 13.4 to go.
And D'Lo just got tossed. He wouldn't get off the ice. So Ethan DiLorenzo will be the first Hoosier in the locker room tonight.
As Ohio will win this face-off back.
Even though I think everybody's feeling just about the same way he is.
It'll be dumped in deep, and as time expires, we'll hear our last buzzer of the weekend, and this will be a split series. Last night's final 3-1, and tonight's final 4-2, both two-goal games, so they've been close all the way, but tonight just not the break in favor for the Hoosiers.
They just didn't have it.
Yeah.
It's really as simple as that. They didn't look like the team we're used to seeing, and credit to Ohio, they played a good game.
They played great from the get-go.
Came away with the victory.
From the forecheck all the way to scoring goals in the offensive zone, they were all over tonight, but the Hoosiers will fall this one as the Bobcats take this one. We'll have a long ride back home to Bloomington, and we'll be back next Friday night at 9:30 at the Frank Southern Ice Arena. We'll see you then. You've been watching Indiana Hockey on the Indiana Hockey Broadcast Network. For Garrett Drake, I've been Andrew Gus. Thank you and have a great night.